battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Mike 57. Yeah. Hey, 4 down.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. A run for Nick Chubb. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Well, partner, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator? Dialing that one up into great success.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Watch the twitch. Watch the twitch. Slam, slam, slam.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Here we go.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Kill. Hey, 24. Here we go.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
Here we go. Let's bring it. World. Let's bring it.
Easy.
He's checking Craig.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Blue 30.
It's going to be a long.
No foul.
It's going to be a long.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit that sack to Jabal Sheard. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
To try again after the sack, Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Myers, the AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago. He was 6 out of 7 from 50-plus last year, and he converts another one here. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome. It
really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. Now this time, Murray to throw it. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Chubb. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. He's brought down there by Kenny Moore.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Let's go.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. They set up the screen to Chubb. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2 as they've got it 2nd down and 12. Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Clay Matthews brings the heat and gets the sack.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Murray with a 3rd and long. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kick
rush coming, and he's taken down. Samson Abukum coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Chubb. Fighting him off. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Get that ball. 22's coming. 22's coming. Mike. I'm here all day. I'm here. They go.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Flush to his right. Touchdown, Ravens.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
He's not going to get me. But Mike 51.
Here's Roethlisberger. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards on the play. First down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 27-yard line. Roethlisberger now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Now Mack. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger, and Graham's got it, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Show that bench release and go.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
Throwing is Murray on third down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
You talk about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half. To carry that with them, it's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mo.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Murray trying again after the pick six. Can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Brandon Graham applying the heat off the edge.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Xavier Howard up to make the tackle.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Forced out to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Let's go.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 38. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. To throw again on second down. Murray. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The Ravens on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9.
We got 4. We got 4. Just watch it. Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line.
From the gun on third down, Murray. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Roethlisberger. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Roethlisberger now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense.
Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. 20, 10, and this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead is now 14-10. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 46, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Murray, they'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run it again with Chubb. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. Murray going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. That's caught at the 2. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Miles Boykin, his first touchdown of the new season as the Ravens push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. Mike, 55. Check, 55.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Rush in.
Now Roethlisberger. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Graham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Roethlisberger will throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 33. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
22, he's coming.
On 2nd and 12, Murray. And his throw is incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and now it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. The critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Quarter. Check 50.
The Steelers will go. It's Roethlisberger. And able to find Graham, complete. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
That's good for us, Steelers. 1st down.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 14. And he'll get this back to the Take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 41, past the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one, it didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 42. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make a play?
Oh, Chubb fumbled it, and it looks like Steeler football. It is! Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. He completes this one to Mack. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 45. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
That really sets them back. A loss of 6. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And they will take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down. Hit it.
And they take a knee.
It's a loss of a yard.
2 running plays go backwards. So what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Baltimore, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
generation, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound it surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like